In this lesson, we're going to talk about rate of change and slope, which are very big concepts for Algebra 1. The rate of change is a ratio. It's a ratio that describes how a quantity is changing with respect to another quantity. So you see a lot, it says the rate of change is equal to the change in y, which is your rise, whether you're going up or down, and your change in x, whether you're going right or left. The slope is your rise over run. So for instance, your numerator is your rise, whether you're going up or down. So that's your change in y. And your denominator is your change in x. That's your run, whether you're going right or left. If we're looking at the second formula there for slope, it says is equal to, again, and it kind of explains it. If you're going rise, if you're going up, you're going to get a positive value. If you're going down, you're going to have a negative value, and we'll explore that a little bit later. And your denominator, again, is your x values. If you're going to the right, it's going to be positive. If you're going to the left, it's going to be negative. The other formula that you see a lot is m, which is the same as slope. M is the variable we use to describe slope. So again, the change in y. So we say y2 minus y1. That will be your y coordinates, and your ordered pair is your numerator, and your denominator is the same thing, change in x values. That's x2 minus x1. We have 4 different types of slopes. So in number 1, this is a positive slope. Bottom left to upper right, because as x increases, y also increases. In number 2, we have a negative slope. This time we're starting in the upper left, coming down to the bottom right. As x is increasing, y is decreasing. And number 3, this is a vertical line, and a vertical line has an undefined slope. And in number 4, we have a horizontal line, which has a 0 slope. And I like to remember that there's a few different ways you can remember. First of all, horizontal line has a z in it, and so does z for 0. So that's one way to remember it. We also can remember it using something that I refer to as Vuxhoy. V stands for a vertical line. U is it's the undefined slope. And if we're going to give this an equation, that's going to be x is equal to a number. So for example, this could be something like x is equal to -3. When we're looking at Hoy, it's the same sort of idea. The H stands for horizontal. The 0 stands, that's an O for Hoy, but it's a 0 for 0 slope. And the y is the same idea. We have y is equal to a number. That would be the equation. So for example, we could have y is equal to 4. Now we're actually going to calculate some slopes. So the directions say find the slope that passes through the given points. So I'm going to use the formula m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's the change in y over the change in x. I'm going to label this first order pair x1 and y1, and the second one is x2, y2. You can do it the other way around. Doesn't really matter. You'll still get the same slope. So I have m is equal to 4 minus 2, 4 minus 2. And then my denominator is 3 minus a -2. 3 minus a -2. Just have to clean that up just a little bit. So it gives me 2 over. This is 3 minus a -2, which is 3 plus 2, which is 5. So my slope in that case is 2/5. So it's a positive slope. So it'll go bottom left to upper right. In number 2, same idea. M is equal to, and I'll put -3 minus 1, again using my y values. And then I'll use 1 minus a -2. So that gives me -4, and this becomes 1 plus 2. So then my denominator is 3. So my slope here is a negative slope, -4 over 3. Now I don't change it to a mixed number and never change slope to a decimal. So this is a negative slope, so it'll be start in the upper left and continue to the bottom right. With these points, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to calculate the slope. So I have m is equal to 4 minus a -1 all over 0 minus 0. 4 minus a -1 is really 4 plus 1 over 0, so I get 5 over 0. Now, we know that I can't divide by a 0, so this is actually going to be an undefined slope, which is a vertical line. And number 4, let's do the same setup. M is equal to, and then I have 5 minus 5. That's my y values, and then I have 8 minus 2. So that gives me 0 over 6. Now in this fraction, I have 0 on the top, which I am allowed to have, which gives me a slope of equal to 0, and that's a horizontal line with the slope of 0. In the last example for today, the directions say find the value of y so that the line passing through the points 3y and the ordered pair 5, 8 has a slope of 2. So I'm going to use a combination of things. I have to figure out exactly what they give me. They give me the slope, and I have two sets of ordered pairs, so I'm going to have to use the formula m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'm going to have to use my algebra to figure out, because the question says find the value of y. So I'm going to substitute in what I know. So the slope they give me is 2, so 2 is equal to, now again let's label this. This gives me x1 and y1, and this is x2 and y2, and again I could do it vice versa, it doesn't matter, it will still simplify the same way. So this gives me 8 minus y over my x2 is 5 minus 3. So that leaves me with 2 is equal to 8 minus y, 5 minus 3 is 2. I'm trying to solve y, so I need to get that y by itself. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2, which gives me 4 is equal to, and this will cross cancel, 8 minus y. Bring my negative 8 to the other side, and negative 4 is equal to negative y. I don't want negative y, I want positive y. So if I divide both sides by 1, I have y is equal to 4, which is my final answer. That is the value of y in this problem.